With many generations of staffs and lecturers of Vinh University, Professor Dr. Cao Long Vinh, Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Physics and Astronomy, the University of Zielona Góra, Poland, has been referred to with the respect and gratitude. He always takes full responsibility for the education and scientific research of the country. Professor Dr. Cao Long Vinh has made an important contribution to the beginning of doctoral and postgraduate training for the University of Vinh and the hard and toughest duration of the country. At that time, he was not only writing many articles for advocacy for the University of Vinh, but also consulting to the Council of Ministers to make final decision to grant the university the right to train doctoral level before the postgraduate level with full self-funded training mechanism, and immediately applied for the first lecturers and graduate students, including Professional Dr. Vinh who is currently director of the University of Vinh.
Lần đầu tiên giáo sư Cao Long Vinh về thăm Đại học Vinh là vào năm 1989.
The first time Professor Dr. Cao Vinh Long visited the University of Vinh was in 1989. At that time, the facility of the university are very poor, with honest hearts of the people who has great love to his nation and in particular very responsible for education, training young generation. The Professor Dr. Cao Vinh Long has put more impact to the government, the Ministry of Education and the state to have policies and have right acknowledgement on the Vinh University. And then, thanks to his impact, we first opened doctoral training program in the country.
Giáo sư Cao Long Vinh thì đầu tiên là chúng tôi mở được cái chuyên ngành đào tạo tiến sĩ vào loại đầu tiên của cả nước.
As one of the first doctor of Vinh University who was instructed by Professor Dr. Cao Long Vinh over 20 years ago, the knowledge and the methods of scientific research and teaching communicated by Professor Dr. Cao Long Vinh has always been highly valuable for Associate Professor Dr. Vũ Ngọc Sáu, Dean of the Faculty of Construction of the Vinh University, on his way of teaching and research. Among the books and study materials of Professor Dr. Cao Long Vinh, a magazine of popularizing modern physics presented by Professor Dr. Cao Long Vinh to him during the time he was studying and researching in Poland that has been kept with highly respect. In the last return to the country with many other valuable materials, Professor Dr. Cao Long Vinh has presented the Vinh University the 10 magazines for future generations of students. With a profound knowledge of our scientists and above all with the national love that always throughout the training the staff, firstly for the Vinh University, we are one of the first generation who are happy to receive the interest scientists leading by Professor Dr. Cao Long Vinh. What we learned from Professor Dr. Cao Long Vinh is not only a profound knowledge, but also the attention to train many generations, scientists as well as managers. After our generations, many youngers were sent to Poland to study. Now we are proud that the faculties of physics of the university has formed a group of scientists which were the first position in Vietnam in optics field.
Liên tục được cử sang phía Ba Lan để học tập.
Do not stop at the first generation. Many continuous years later, Professor Dr. Cao Long Vinh always take his time to return to Vietnam, including the Vinh University, to participate in scientific conference, guide students to study science, write postgraduate thesis. Especially in 2003, Professor Dr. Cao Long Vinh has popularized the new achievements in nonlinear optics and optical atomic, deployed to train research staffs in these two areas. Some postgraduate students have been trained in Poland with full scholarship, including experimental. Dr. Nguyễn Huy Bằng, Deputy Dean of the Physics Faculty, Vinh University Physics, is one of the lecturers of the later generations of the universities. Not only in Vietnam, Dr. Nguyễn Huy Bằng has been supported and assisted directly by Professor Dr. Cao Long Vinh in many consecutive years during his postgraduate education in Poland.
Ấn tượng đầu tiên của tôi về thầy giáo Cao Long Vinh, đấy là một nhà khoa học rất là giỏi.
My first impression of the Professor Dr. Cao Long Vinh is a very good scientist, enthusiastic and good at imparting knowledge to students from the first step, including the people who are not knowledgeable in these fields. He will find a suitable way to present to all for easy understanding. After one short period of time, the learner can get the basic and new knowledge about the nonlinear optical that imparted by him. As we know, the optics field of the Vinh University has now developed after more than 20 years, and many doctors, postgraduate students, and students have been trained thanks to the great contribution of Professor Dr. Cao Long Vinh.
Chuyên ngành quang học của trường Đại học Vinh hiện nay đã phát triển sau hơn 22 năm, đã đào tạo ra được nhiều tiến sĩ, nhiều nghiên cứu sinh, nhiều thạc sĩ và nhiều sinh viên. Thì cái công lao của giáo sư tiến sĩ khoa học Cao Long Vinh rất là lớn.
Although he was not born in Nghệ An province, but the sentiment of Professor Dr. Cao Long Vinh towards the Vinh University has become a source of great spiritual encouragement for many generations of staffs, lecturers, and students of the university to strive for championing the knowledge mountain. Generations of staffs of Vinh University and the people who has been growth up from the Faculty of Physics in particular express the deep respect and gratitude to the great contribution of Professor Dr. Cao Long Vinh over the 20 years on the occasion of his 60th anniversary of his birth.
Trước khi thầy tròn 60 tuổi thì
toward his 60th birthday, being the successor and a former student, we want to send him the best wishes for health, happiness, and success. We also want to send our sincere and deep gratitude to those who are both students and scientist colleagues over the past years.
Vừa là học trò, vừa là người cộng sự khoa học trong suốt những năm qua.
Giáo sư Cao Long Vinh đã hơn 20 năm gắn bó với trường Đại học Vinh.
Professor Cao Long Vinh has more than 20 years with Vinh University. He has created a school of science at the university. This is a very difficult problem in the hard conditions of Vietnam at that time. That means that he created a group of studying, a school of science, not only in Vietnam but also at international scope. We are very grateful and proud of the contribution of him for the career of training and retraining of staff of Vinh University. On the occasion of his 60th birthday, in order to assess his contribution in training, a big scientific conference will be organized in Poland with the participation of many scientists. Due to far distance, we cannot attend this conference, but from the bottom of our heart, the generation of students and staff of Vinh University want to send to Professor Dr. Cao Long Vinh the best wishes for his health, happiness, and continue to make contribution to the science in general and Vinh University in particular.
Chúc thầy tiếp tục có những cái đóng góp cho khoa học nói chung và cho trường Đại học Vinh nói riêng.
The initial foundation that Professor Dr. Cao Long Vinh built for the Vinh University has contributed to increase the number of young doctors trained at home and abroad. Along with that, the training of postgraduate to ensure the sustained development for optics areas of Vinh University is very important. The staffs have been trained not only to participate in building physics industry, but also to contribute to the construction of the Vinh University to become the national key university and proceed to an international university in the future.